Welcome to Liz at Home. Today we're going to be doing a process video. I'm using this color therapy anti-stress coloring book that I showed you in the video where I showed you how to prepare a page for art journaling, and I'm going to be showing you how the process of a page that I'm doing. I liked this particular picture, not this one. Let me go back a bit. This picture, which has this lovely African lady on it. And so I've prepared this page with gesso. I've gone over it. And now I'm using a General's all pencil. It's called a sketch wash, which is much the same as a Stabilo all pencil. So I decided I didn't want to just have this as a coloring page, but I was using the basic background and picture, which I then wanted to paint. So in this particular journaling page, I'm not going to be doing any collaging. It's mostly painting and then using this wash with this pencil and then using some texture medium in the back. So I first outline the face with this General's pencil, and I didn't want to do all the patterns that you can see there. I'm just using the basic outlines. So I'm going to basically speed the video up so you can see the process, and I'll talk you through little bits as we go along. And thank you for watching this. And let me just add, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet and you are enjoying the videos, please would you consider subscribing? It really helps me a lot. And if you enjoy the video and you'd like to share it with a friend or in a coloring group or anywhere, please feel free to do that. That's also very helpful, and I'd really be thrilled if you did that. I'd also love it if you left me comments and told me what you like about the video, what you don't like about the video, where you think I can do things that would help you more. That would all be very useful to me. Thanks for watching this, and enjoy as we carry on. So I draw the outline that I can see, and then I kind of have a look at it, and I decide that I liked it in the picture when the artist had drawn it, but for my purposes, the position she's sitting in didn't really work. So I tried to erase the pencil and it didn't work, but it's a water-soluble pencil. So I used water on it and then just did the watercolor trick of wiping the paint off again with a kitchen towel. And then I redrew sort of the shape that I wanted, because I just really wanted her face. I didn't want to do a whole costume and everything. I didn't want it to be a coloring in picture. I wanted it to be her portrait. And then I had such fun, because then I took out these are called Marabou art crayons, and they were part of the stash that the lovely Tanya Hubbard gave me in the gift that she gave me. She sent me a goodie bag of super art and art journaling products, and I had not tried these before, and gee, they're lovely. They're sort of creamy and soft. They remind me a little bit of Faber-Castell gelatos, but in a way are a bit creamier. And I decided to go, because of the facing page, I like the color of the background of that flamenco dancer, who I think I'm going to color in. And so I wanted to keep this background in kind of reds and oranges. And I was thinking of using water, because these are also water soluble. And then I thought I'd just try them with my finger. And oh my goodness, they just blended so nicely. It was an absolute breeze, I think, largely because of the gesso underneath. And then just in the little bits close to the face, I used a very damp paintbrush to soften the pencil and to soften the crayon, the art crayon, into that so that it sort of went nice and close to the portrait. It was very easy to do. I'm going to put a link up of the video I did of the super goodie bag that I got from Tanya Hubbard, and in that there's a link to her channel. She does scrapbooking and journaling, like with Hobonichi and things like that. Lovely channel. So I had fun with these art crayons, and I keep thinking where I can use them again, because it was like, you know, one of those quick fixes that just happen and are easy for a change, not a great big struggle. So I actually quite liked the way this background turned out. Now we've reached the thing that I'm a little bit afraid of, and that is to do the skin tones with paint. A whole new experience for myself. I'm using Americana Deco Art acrylic paint in burnt umber, Dina Wakley heavy body acrylic in buff, which I mixed to try and get a slightly lighter tone. The reason for these two colors is that this burnt umber is the only one I had in a darker color to use for a skin tone. I have not ever painted a skin tone before, and I really have very little experience painting with acrylics. So please forgive the slight patchiness that ended up here, but I had fun trying. And this is my art journal, and this particular journal for me is a try it out journal and a have fun journal and a play and see what you land up with kind of journal. When I look at the video now that I'm doing a kind of a voiceover of what I've done, it's actually so interesting. I love the way her face shape changes as the paint goes on, and then I went and blupsed and went over the eye, so I wiped it off with a wet wipe. But it's interesting to see what color does in face shapes, and I think it is, in watching this, I didn't realize it as I was doing it, told me that I really need to step back a lot more when I'm trying to do things in art. So now the paint is quite patchy, and I try to smooth it down, and I'm not wildly successful, but you know what? It's okay. It's all there. So after the painting of this, I need that to dry, and then I get onto the neck, and we get that shaped. I'm using a Princeton brush with a filbert shape, and I'm not sure which one of the Princetons it is. I can't remember. But I really do like the Princeton brushes. They're fantastic, and they always snap back into shape so nicely. This is not a snap brush, but still. Then I go back to these lovely, lovely, lovely Marabou art crayons to do her head dress, which is like a scarf. African ladies often wear scarves on their heads, and I think that they look absolutely wonderful. I use two different greens to try and get a kind of a 3D shape with the lighter in the middle. So I used a Sharpie to go over the rest of the eye shapes and then filled in the eyelid. Now to try and do the lips. Let's see what happens. I feel like I'm using a lip brush here. It was fun doing this. I really enjoyed doing this face. I've always liked the shape of this lady's face, and I think she's got a very sweet expression, and I was kind of hoping that by using my hand to go over the outlines that I can sort of help train myself to draw this kind of shape, which I think is really beautiful. So trying to darken the lips up a little bit. That's with the Marabou crayons, just applying them direct from the crayon with a brush, a damp brush. So now out comes the faithful Sharpie, which started off working very nicely along here. I had sprayed the picture with some workable fixative, and I wanted to do some mark making, so I decided to draw in her clothing, and I copied a little bit of the pattern underneath that was still showing through the paint. And I've been doing like YouTube lessons and Skillshare classes and things on trying to learn some various Zentangle patterns and things like that. So I can't remember what the pattern names are, but I decided to just try some of them out and make my marks on this page, which was quite fun actually. I think each pattern has got a name, and I'm probably murdering the pattern slightly, but never mind, it looks nice. I really enjoyed this part of the process. I had great fun filling in and doing patterns as we went along. I like this pattern, the one that looks like the rays of a sun. I find it pleasing to me. I do find all of this so much fun. It's funny, when I was a kid and we had art at school, it terrified me because I was so bad, and then but I sort of would get excited about going, and then the teachers told me, "Oh, you're so untalented, please don't come and do this." So I stopped. The same thing happened with music, actually. I was fine with learning to play the piano, but then I wanted to sing, and they wouldn't let me get in the choir in primary school, and then I couldn't get in the special choir in high school. And lo and behold, I ended up making a professional career as an opera singer. So I really feel that if something calls to you, you should follow it. So it's interesting how outlining this actually makes her stand out so much better on the page. It just makes her pop a little bit. I wasn't quite sure whether I should do kind of red inside the mouth as a tongue and that, but I thought it might look weird, so I just blacked it out. Then I finished the patterns. Actually finished with a Posca pen as the Sharpie dried out. So now I'm going to finish this page with a textured paste. It's actually part of a kind of a rust patina thing I bought at some scrapbooking shop that I can't remember where it was. It was somewhere in Durbanville Hills. It's by Art Extra Vagance. It's called Rust Effect Paste, and I got a turquoise and this color, and I think it was a kind of an orange, but this particular one is kind of gritty. So I've tried it on a piece of scrap paper, but I've not done it in an art journal page before. I've got this called Shattered Glass, and I can't remember who the stencil is by. I've had it for ages, and I'm going to try applying this with my palette knife, sort of here and there. And let's hope it works. I wanted to create some sort of texture around her. Oopsie. Okay, there it looks kind of like brickwork. Going to try, maybe if I do this like this here. It's quite scary. Don't really want to mess this up. I don't think this is how you're supposed to use this. I think you're supposed to use this stuff for scrapbooking, but I bought it with this kind of thing in mind, hoping that it would work. No, this isn't down well there. There we are, some little bits around. Just to put a bit of a mask with my cloth here. Try some more. It's got a strange smell, this stuff. It smells sort of like, almost like wet cement. Very weird. It's like now making mud puddles. That worked quite well. Let me cover. What is this lady's name? Sabrina. I'm going to call her Sabrina. I don't know why, but she looks like a Sabrina to me. Oh, I haven't left room for my quote. I want to put a quote somewhere, so I better leave some room somewhere. Alright, and now I better clean this before it all dries into a hard mess. Time to apply our quote. I love this quote. She believed she could, so she did, which goes along very much with how I've always felt about things, along with the singing and now with my art, and I'm just going to do it. So I really like this, and I apply it with the Ranger matte medium. I printed the little quote art and then cut it. So I've nearly finished. With all of this on here, I think it actually looks quite nice, but I wanted just to blend in a bit, so I'm using these art crayons lightly on top and then using my finger just to smudge them a bit. I really like these. I'm so grateful they were gifted to me. They work so nicely on top of the gesso. I've got an apron on, and then I've got this all pencil. This is a general sketch and wash, and I'm just sort of, they're wonderful pencils. They kind of write on anything, because I found my Sharpie wouldn't write on this, even though it's a workable fixative. I think the oil from or the waxiness or whatever it is from these art crayons got into the alcohol marker and it wouldn't work. So I'm just doing this kind of around here, just to scribble and grunge it up a little bit. And then I'm using my water brush. I did this one already, and just loosening it and grunging it up a little bit so that they kind of blend into the background. There we are. Whoops, that's gone over the black there. I wonder if I'll get this on here. Yeah, that's better. I like that. So this is a slightly different art journal page, but I really enjoyed doing it. And there we are. There's the finished picture. Go all the way down. And I'm pleased I did it orange in case I decide to just color this page in, although I've made a bit of a mess on it. But because of that orange background, I thought the two blended in nicely. Thank you very much for watching, and let me just remind you, in case you haven't already done so, and if you'd like more of these videos and coloring videos and watercolor videos, please remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. I love doing these videos for you. Bye bye and have a great day.